Hello, and a heartfelt welcome to Portsmouth High School's Gala Concert 2021, a celebration of the finest music that our school has to offer. Of course, this year is different, but different can also mean spectacularly good, which you're about to see. We have over 100 performers who recorded their music at separate times, in separate locations, and then sent it in for it to all come together today for this very special event. We have 4 centuries worth of music in today's concert, from wig-wearing composers of the 17th century all the way to wig-wearing Elton John of the 21st century. Before our first piece, I would just like to thank everyone who made this concert possible, from the hard-working group of peripatetic teachers who give such care and attention to our pupils, to the parents who pay for those lessons and support their children all along the way. I would also like to thank the non-music teaching staff at the school who are so patient and so supportive. I'd like to thank my partner in crime, Mrs. Morris, who makes music so fun and so relevant to everyone. I'd like to thank Miss Clark, who's an absolute perfectionist in everything that she does. And most of all, I would like to thank you, the audience, who are here today listening to the concert. I do hope that you enjoy it. Your Song was written by Elton John and Bernie Taupin, and it's been covered by everyone from Lady Gaga to Ellie Goulding. And today it's the Year 7 choir's turn. It was written in 1970 when Elton John was an up-and-coming musician who was the opening act for an American group called Three Dog Night. According to Wikipedia, Elton John wrote the music for Your Song in just 20 minutes, and Bernie Taupin wrote the lyrics while he was having breakfast. And if Wikipedia says it's true, it's got to be true. Elton John once said, "I don't think I've written a song as good as this." In addition to hearing Year 7 sing the words, you'll also see a variety of photographs taken of Year 7 back in the days when we were all in school together. Here is Year 7 singing Your Song.
Pour
Next, we have an instrumental ensemble made up of students from year 7 to year 13, all making music together in the virtual world of lockdown. This short piece is in ternary form, which means A-B-A structure, where the A section at the beginning is the same as at the end, with a different contrasting section in the middle. Listen out for the typical rhythm that's offbeat and syncopated. It's usually played by the claves in South American music, but today it's played by a rather cheeky and enthusiastic year 13 student. Clair de Lune, perhaps the most famous piece of piano music written by French composer Claude Debussy, is the third movement of a larger collection or suite. Written in 1890, the title suggests shimmering moonlight. Interestingly, Clair de Lune was originally intended to be fully orchestrated and included in the 1940 Disney film Fantasia, but it didn't make the final cut. Today, Mia is going to play Clair de Lune on the piano in its original form. Now, is there anyone, anywhere in the world, who hasn't heard the song Let It Go? Since hitting our screens 14 years ago, I know, time flies so quickly, the song has become a beloved anthem for so many people longing to shed their royal accessories, create a living snowman, and build a magnificent ice castle. Written by husband and wife team Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez, the song has won numerous awards and topped the charts all over the world. In 2014, Disney released a compilation album entitled Let It Go, the Complete Set, with 42 foreign language film versions of the song. Here is the PHS version, or at least the most recent one, featuring both students and some very familiar staff.
The snow grows white on the mountains tonight, none of the prince to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm green. The wind is howling like a swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free.
It's time for me to put my Duolingo Italian into practice by pronouncing the full name of our next composer. Giuseppe Francesco Gaspari Melchiori Baltasare Sammartini. Sammartini was a composer and an oboist during the late Baroque and early Classical period, or the mid-1700s. Although he was Italian, he spent most of his compositional life in London, where he was the music master for the Prince of Wales, not Charles, but Frederick. The piece performed by Ruby today is the first movement of Sammartini's best-known composition, the Concerto in F major for recorder. The next piece was also composed for the film Frozen, like Let It Go, but it's less well known. It was written by a Norwegian composer named Frode Fjellheim and adapted for the film by Canadian composer Christoph Beck. Inspired by the indigenous Sami and Scandinavian cultures, Vuelie features syllables that have no linguistic meaning, being part of the vocal style called yoik. The altos sing an ostinato or a repeated pattern that carries on throughout the entire song, a bit like a Scandinavian version of Pachelbel's canon. Here is Cantabile singing Vuelie.
No na na hey na he ya na hey ya na ya no ha na oh no na na hey ya na he ya na hey ya na ya no ha na hey oh no na
Last heard banging a metal pan with a wooden spoon, Georgie is now going to sing Always Remember Us This Way, the Grammy-nominated hit single from 2018's version of A Star Is Born, starring Lady Gaga. The New York Times described this song as hushed to heroic, or an Elton John-inspired showstopper. Here is Georgie singing Always Remember Us This Way.
Catch on
The word impromptu means formed as if on the spur of the moment. Composer Franz Schubert wrote this piece in 1827, and he perhaps intended it to sound like the piano player was improvising. Listen out for the long song-like melodies, the fluttering harp-like accompaniment, and the frequent changes of key as Kendra plays Schubert's most famous Impromptu in G-flat. Our brilliant rock group will next perform a song written by Olivia Rodrigo in 3 days when she was 15 years old. Year 10, there's a target for you. All I Want comes from High School Musical, the series, and the song is beautifully performed by our own stars of the future.
Found a guy, told me I was a star. He held the door, held my hand in the dark. And he's perfect on paper, but he's lying to my face. Does he think that I'm the kind of girl who needs to be saved? And there's one more boy, he's from my past. We fell in love, but it didn't last. Just a second, I figure it out. He pushes me away, and I won't fight for love if you won't meet me halfway. And I say that I'm through, but this song's still for you. All I want is love that lasts. All I want, too much to ask. Is there something wrong with me? All I want is a good guy. My expectations far too high. Try my best, but what can I say? All I have is myself at the end of the day. All I want is for that to be okay. And I miss the days when I was young and naive. I thought the perfect guy would come and find me. But I guess happy ever after it don't come so easily. All I want is love that lasts. All I want, too much to ask. Is there something wrong with me? All I want is a good guy. My expectations far too high. Try my best, but what can I say? All I have is myself at the end of it. All I want is for that to be okay. For that to be okay.
Liebesträume is the German word for dreams of love. Hungarian composer Franz Liszt published 3 of these dreams for the piano in 1850, about 100 years later than Ruby's Recorder Concerto was written. Hannah is going to play Liszt's 3rd Liebestraum, which is his most well-known. It depicts themes of love and the loss of love, and the whole piece is divided into 3 sections. Each section is divided by a cadenza-like passage, which is a showing off bit with dexterous fingerwork and a very high degree of technical ability. Better you than me, Hannah. Take it away. Peter Gunn was a television series from the 1950s. It was the first television series to have a detective that was specifically written for TV rather than taking from another source. The music was composed by Henry Mancini, who also wrote The Pink Panther. Mancini used guitar and piano together in unison, playing a rhythmic ostinato that carries on throughout the whole piece to create a sinister feel of crime. Here is our jazz band playing the theme to Peter Gunn. As with the music from Frozen, the next piece was composed by a Norwegian composer, Ola Gjello. Northern Lights is set to the Latin Pulchra es amica mea from the Song of Solomon, with music inspired by the aurora borealis, atmospheric lights. The text and the music depict a terrible beauty, according to Gjello, something serene and heartbreaking. Harmony has done a wonderful job learning and recording this beautiful music from home during lockdown. Just listen to this. Six is a smash hit British musical that was first presented by Cambridge University students in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in 2017, the very same year that drama students from Portsmouth High School earned 5-star reviews for their performance in the very same festival. Six is a modern retelling of the lives of the 6 wives of King Henry VIII, presented as a pop concert as the wives take turns singing and telling their story to see who suffered the most due to Henry and should therefore become the group's lead singer. Divorced, beheaded, and now sung by our own musical theatre club, Six.
He got down on one knee, but I said no way. Packed my bags and moved into another array. Joined the gospel choir, our wrists were on fire. At the top of the charts is where I'm gonna stay. Henry sent me a poem all about my green sleeves. I changed a couple words, put it on a sick beat. The song blew their minds, next minute I was signed. And now I'm writing lyrics for Shake's EP. Since my first son, our family's grown. We made a band and got quite well known. You could perhaps call us the Tudor Von Traps. I'm just kidding, we're called the Royaling Stones. We're one of a kind, no category. Too many years lost in history. We're free to take our crowning glory for 5 more minutes. We're Six. What a shame, yeah, my face, it cost me the crown. So I moved to the house of Podlight in my hometown. These mates were super arty, but I showed them how to party. Now on my tour of Russia, everybody gets down. Music man tried it on, and I was like, bye. So I thought, who needs him? I can give it a try. I learned everything, now all I do is sing. And I'll do that until I die. But all about these rockin' chicks, loved every song and each remix. So I went out and found them, and we laid down an album. Now I don't need your love, all I need is Six. We're one of a kind, no category. Too many years lost in history. We're free to take our crowning glory for 5 more minutes. We're Six. Whoa, whoa, we're Six. Whoa, we're Six. Whoa, whoa, for 5 more minutes. It's the end of the show, of the history mix. We switched up the flow and we changed the prefix. Everybody knows that we used to be 6 wives. But we want to say before we drop the curtain, nothing is for sure, nothing is for certain. All that we know is that we used to be 6 wives. But now we're one of a kind, no category. Too many
always knew that history could be fun. What a way to end an amazing concert. I hope you've all enjoyed hearing the huge array of talent that we have here at this school. Now more than ever, your support of the arts is so important. If any PHS students listening out there want to join in the fun, after half-term, come along, join one of the many music groups that we have at this school, or sing in or play in one of the many concerts. We would love to have you. All you have to do is send me a message and I'll add you to the team. In the meantime, have a very lovely week, a lovely half-term, and thank you again for making the Gala Concert 2021 such a huge success. Bye!